Good day, everyone. So this is our last discussion for our midterm discussion in personal identification. So we are talking about or regarding the different chemical method that we use in developing latent prints. So una na po dyan is yung tinatawag po nating magnetic powder or aka magna powder. Okay? This magnetic or magna powder is available since the early 1960s. Magnetic powder is used to process an object with the purpose of visualizing friction range detail. So, magnetic powder, malaki rin po ang tulong nito sa pag-develop po ng ating mga latent prints. Okay? Magnetic powder looks similar to regular black powder but it contains iron. Yes, parang magkapareho lang po sila ng black powder. Pero itong magnetic powder po is para po siyang, meron po siyang mga maliliit na particles. As you can see, kagaya ng sabi ko last time, yung sa magnet, kapag naididikit po siya sa lupa or sa mga maduduming tawag dito, surfaces, nagkakaroon po siya ng mga maliliit na particles. Same as this one po. Okay? Ang advantage po of using a magnetic powder instead of a regular latent print powder is that with magnetic powder, the brush never touches the latent print. Yes, hindi po niya matatouch yung latent print. Kasi yung brush po niya, hindi po kagaya nung brush na ginagamit po natin sa black powder or any kind of powder po. Also, magnetic powder doesn't become airborne as easily as regular latent print powders, resulting in less powder being inhaled by the user. So, ganito po yung itsura ng tinatawag po nating magna powder or magnetic powder. So, as you can see, okay, hindi po yan yung itsura ng brush natin. Ito po, wait po. Okay, this is the magnetic powder. Itong nakadikit po, itong mga to, yung mga nakadikit na po na yan. Okay, yung mga yan. Yan po yung magnetic powder na tinatawag po natin. Itong nakikita nyong kulay pula, okay, magnet po yan. Parang pencil magnet po. Okay, so ibubuhos doon sa papel yung magnetic powder at itong stylus na to or pencil po na ito, may magnet po ito. Yun po ang magpapagalaw doon po sa ating magnetic powder. Kasi nga po, this one, this stylus, magnet po yan. Okay? So, ganyan po yung tinatawag po nating magnetic powder. Next, we have chemical method. We have Victoria Blue and ninhydrine solution. Kapag po sinabi nating Victoria Blue, it is used to detect latent prints on leaf, scotch tape, masking tape, or yung mga ginagamit po sa kidnapping or rape cases. A dye can be a substitute for Victoria Blue. So, itong Victoria Blue, ginagamit po yan or nakakapag-develop po yan doon sa mga leaves or dahon po, scotch tape or mga masking tape. Okay, malaking tulong po yan kapag ang case is regarding kidnapping and rape cases. Kasi kalimitang nahahawakan ng suspect or the perpetrator is the scotch tape or the masking tape po. Then we have the ninhydrine solution. Okay, it is used to detect latent prints on absorbent material like yung tinatawag po nating paper, that is an absorbent material. Okay, kapag paper kasi, ina-absorb lang niya pero as you can see, wala po kayong makikita or hindi po nakikita ng naked eye natin na meron pong nakalagay na latent prints doon sa paper na hinawakan po natin. But because of this ninhydrine method or solution, okay, nagkakaroon or nadidevelop po yung fingerprint na naiwan doon sa papel. Why? Because of the amino acids po doon sa ating pawis. Okay? Kaya po kapag inisprayan or brinash or isinoke yung papel na yon doon sa ating tinatawag na ninhydrine method or ninhydrine solution, madidevelop po yung tinatawag po nating latent prints. But okay, in spraying, in brushing, in water soaking or dipping, kailangan po natin na applyan ng heat. Okay, kapag in-sprayan mo po, dapat may heat po, which is ang gagamitin is yung iron or plancha. Okay, like this one po, ipapakita ko po sa inyo. Wait, nasa susunod na slide. So, in ninhydrin solution po, kailangan po ng iron or steaming iron para po lumabas po yung Latin print. Ang kulay naman po nun is kulay violet. Okay? Iodine fuming, this employs the use of iodine gun or fuming cabinet made of glass, usually found in any laboratory. Normally, specimens subjected to this technique are equipped with tweezers and gloves. Yes, iodine fuming. Kapag sinabi nating iodine fuming, usok lang naman po ang nakakapag-develop doon sa mga Latin prints na naiwan sa mga bottles, sa mga glasses. Okay? Yun po yung kakalabasan. Ang kulay naman po, mag-a-appear siya as yellow-brown in color. Okay? Kapag iodine fuming. Dahil sa usok nung chemical na yon, nade-develop po yung Latin prints na naiiwan sa mga bottles, cans, glasses. Okay, heat din po, mild heat ang kailangan para po talagang ma-develop. Then, we have the tetramethyl benzazine or yung tinatawag nating TMB. It is the development of bloody fingerprints. Ito naman po yung tinatawag po nating TMB. Okay, kapag gagamitin po natin itong chemical method na ito is kapag meron po tayong mga bloody fingerprints. Yan naman po yun. Ang gagamitin naman po natin. So, this one. Okay? Ito po, this is the iodine fuming. Ganito po ang kulay niya. Okay? This is the ninhydrin solution. Ito po. So, kailangan po natin ng steaming iron. Okay? So, for example, this is the paper. This is the ninhydrin solution. Spray po natin sa paper. And then, kailangan po natin siyang lapatan ng steaming iron para po ganito po yung kalabasan niya. Okay? Ganyan po ang kakalabasan niya. Then, this is the ano po ba ito? I think this is the TMB or it is the Victoria Blue. Okay? Ito po yun. Ito naman po. Yan naman po yung kulay na yan. Okay? So, marami tayong mga chemical method na pwedeng gamitin to develop Latin prints. Okay? Next, we have the flame technique. Okay? Sa flame technique naman po, many common materials. Example is camphor, magnesium, masking tape, netocellulose, pine tar, titanium tetrachloride, burn to produce soot for detection of friction range or hot flame method. Ito po, gagawin po natin ito. Isa po ito sa mga activities natin. Pero, sa activities po natin, no need na gumamit pa tayo ng mga magnesium, netocellulose, pine tar, titanium, or tetrachloride. Ang gagamitin lang po natin is simple water and salt. Okay, we just dip our hands into the water na may salt po and then tawag po dito, patuyuin lang po natin ng saglit and then we impress in the paper. Then kailangan po natin ng candle, okay? Doon sa candle po na 'yon, lalagay po natin sa taas para po yung sa heat, okay, ma-absorb po nung papel. Then lalabas po unti-unti yung fingerprint ninyo. Don't worry, gagawin po natin 'yan bago matapos po yung finals po natin. Okay, then we have the muriatic acid, a chemical used to process thermal paper to develop friction range detail, also known as hydrochloride acid. If we have time, gamit din po tayo or gawin din po natin itong muriatic acid. Pero ang kailangan po natin is thermal paper. Thermal paper po, yan po yung ginagamit po sa mga supermarket, hypermarket, yung resibo. That is a thermal paper. Okay, thermal paper po ang tawag doon. Because of the thermal paper, yung madulas po meron kasing mga thermal paper na parang as in papel lang. Papel siya na nakirsang ako nada. Then, pero yung meron pa pong isang thermal paper na soft lang po siya. Kapag ididikit mo yung basang kamay mo, magkakaroon na po agad siya ng, or makakapag-develop na po agad siya ng Latin print. No need for the muriatic acid. Okay, so let's see. try din po natin if we have time pa po para po magawa yung activity na ito regarding the muriatic acid. Next, let's talk about the other chemical methods of developing latent prints. Isa na po dyan yung tinatawag nating amino black, crystal violet, and we have the diazafluorine 9,1 or DFO. So, here in amino black po, it is a dye sensitive to properties of blood. So, para lang po siyang TMB. Okay? And may be used with contaminated visible prints involving blood. So, kapag ito naman po yung ginamit natin na chemical method or chemical, magtuturn naman po yung mga visible print as a blue-black color. Okay? Kahit contaminated na po yung fingerprint na yon or latent print na yon, pwede po natin gamitin yung tinatawag po nating amino black para ma-develop pa rin po at lumabas po yung prints. Okay, then we have the crystal violet. It is used to develop latent prints on the adhesive side of almost any kind of tape. So, same as Victoria Blue. Okay, Victoria Blue, sabi, pwede siyang gamitin sa mga scotch tape, masking tape, or doon po sa mga ginagamit sa kidnapping and rape cases. Even this one, crystal violet, pwede din po nating magamit yan. Okay, in almost side or adhesive kind of tape, doon po kung saan po madikit yung tape na yon. Okay, or kung nasaan yung dikit, doon po pwede po natin gamitin itong crystal violet po para makapag-develop po tayo ng latent print. Then we have the 8-diazafluorine 9,1 or DFO, similarly to Ninhardin solution, which is 3 times more effective in developing latent prints on paper. So, sabi dito, same as Ninhardin, kaya lang po, mas effective po ito kaysa kay Ninhydrin. Meron po kasi yung ibang Ninhydrin po na chemical na kapag matagal na hindi na po nagagamit, hindi naman siya expire, pero kapag matagal na pong hindi nagagamit, nawawala po yung bisa nung solution or nung chemical po na yon. Kaya minsan, kapag ini-spray po or dinidip po natin yung paper, wala pong lumalabas na latent print kahit po lapatan po natin ng steaming iron. Okay, so this one, DFO, 3 times na mas effective kaysa kay Ninhydrin. Then we have the rhodamine or rhodamine 6G. This is an excellent fluorescent chemical dye used on metals, glass, leather, plastic, wood, and many other types of non-absorbent surfaces. So kapag naman po mga non-absorbent surfaces naman po, ang kailangan po na or kung saan na ilagay yung mga latent prints, ang gagamitin naman po natin is yung tinatawag po nating rhodamine or rhodamine 6,9. Okay, kasi maganda po siyang gamitin, effective po siyang gamitin sa mga metals, okay? Hindi lang metals, glass, leather, plastic, woods, and any types of non-absorbent surfaces or materials. Then we have the basic yellow 40. It can effectively be used on surfaces such as cans, leathers, and plastic. Like sa tinatawag po nating iodine fuming. Yan din po ang pwede nating ilagay doon, yung cans, leathers, and plastics po kapag iodine fuming. So, same as basic yellow 40. Effective din po siya sa mga surfaces na mga ganyan po. Then, gas method, we have the super glue. It is used to detect latent prints on masking tape, leaves, fruits, plastic materials. A mighty band can be used as a substitute. Yes, mighty band po pwede po natin gamitin as a super glue para po lumabas or ma-develop po yung mga latent prints sa mga nandiyan po na mga materials. Gas method, kapag sinabi po natin gas method, pareho lang po ng method na gagawin kapag iodine fuming. Gas din po kasi yon, iodine fuming, super glue, okay? Gas method din po kasi yung mga yon. So, kailangan natin ng usok or kailangan po yung usok na manggagaling po sa tinatawag po nating chemical na iodine, and this one naman po doon sa super glue na ginagamit po natin. As you can see, kapag nagpupunta po kayo sa may Crime Lab 1, meron po kayong makikita na tawag po doon, hindi po siya poster, tawag na po doon, yung nakatarp po, okay, yung makikita nyo na kulay green doon, na can ng Coke, okay, ganun po yung tinatawag po nating super glue. Ang kulay po niya is kulay green. Okay, ilalagay lang din po siya sa maliit na box na ganyan. So, ganun po yung tinatawag po nating gas method. Then we have the cyanoacrylate ester. It is a fuming technique used to develop friction-rich detail on non-porous item, but does not interfere with the processing of porous items. So, ginagamit lang po ang cyanoacrylate ester sa mga non-porous item. Kapag mga porous items na po, hindi na po siya pwedeng gamitin. The cyanoacrylate ester polymerized on the components of the Latin residue, creating a white impression. So, kapag gumagamit po tayo ng cyanoacrylate, ang lumalabas naman po na kulay ng Latin print na na-develop is kulay white. Kay heating naman po, kay heat, kailangan ng init para po ma-develop yung Latin prints doon sa mga materials. So, heating cyanoacrylate ester decreases the development of time, but heating it above 400 degrees Fahrenheit generates hydrogen cyanide. Okay, humidity and vinegar are both known catalyst of this technique, also referred to as superglue. So, ang kailangan po, heat, yung mainit. 400 degrees Fahrenheit po ang kailangan na init para po talagang lumabas po agad yung developed Latin prints po or yung white impression po. Then we have the microseal, a silicone casting agent developed by Kjell Karlsson of Sweden. This product is useful for lifting Latin prints from textured or curved surfaces. It also works well in recovering prints from a disease. So, ang microseal naman po is a casting agent, okay? Para lang po siyang plaster of Paris. Kaya lang ito po, pwede po niyang ma-recover yung mga prints ng mga deceased or dead person naman po. So, useful siya sa mga lifting Latin prints, yung mga curved surfaces. Kung meron pong mga naiiwan ng mga Latin print sa mga curved surfaces po, pwede po yan kasi silicone nga po siya, casting agent. So, kahit saan, pwede po siyang gamitin. Okay? Next, boiling technique, and we have the hot breath method technique or aka huffing. Okay, boiling technique, a method to rehydrate the friction skin of a deceased person. In this method, water is boiled and then removed from the heat. The hand is submerged in the water for approximately 5 seconds. So, hindi po yung kamay or hand po ng buhay na tao. Ang gagamitin po dito yung dead person, hand of a dead person. Okay, so we need to submerge the hand for 5 seconds. If rehydration isn't fully achieved, the hand can be resubmerged for another 5 seconds. The hand is then dried before attempting to record the friction skin detail. Bakit kailangan pong i-submerge? Para po ma-rehydrate? Ibig sabihin, para po yung mga, anong tawag po dito, yung skin, okay, is lumobo po. Okay? Kapag lumobo po kasi siya, hydrated po ulit siya. That's the time po na kailangan po nating i-impress doon sa fingerprint paper po natin. Okay? So, ganun po yung boiling technique. Kapag hot breath method or huffing naman, breathing on a Latin print either to visualize the print or to infuse moisture back into an older Latin print. So, ang kailangan lang po yung hininga, hot breath. Okay? So, for example, in glass, nakaiwan ng mga Latin print doon, at hindi po siya talagang kita, gawin lang po natin yung hot breath method or huffing. Okay? Yung hininga. Then, lifting Latin prints. Lifting, it is the process of securing and preserving Latin prints by the use of an adhesive material known as the fingerprint lifter or fingerprint tape, yung pinakita ko po sa inyo. Okay, which is done by pressing the sticky surface against the Latin print impression that has been powdered or dusted. So, ang lifting po, process po yan para po ma-secure yung Latin prints po natin at ma-transfer po doon sa tinatawag po nating fingerprint tape or fingerprint lifter. Okay? Ang itsura po niyan, yung pinakita ko sa inyo, is para po siyang scotch tape. So, yun po yung ginagamit po nating tape para po makuha, okay? Ma-secure natin, ma-preserve natin yung Latin prints. Then, requirements in lifting, okay? Must be witnessed by two competent person. If you are going to lift a Latin print, kailangan po meron ka pong dalawang kasamang competent person. Okay? The time, date, and signature of the technician must be recorded during the lifting. So, kailangan pa pong ilagay yung time, date, and yung signature po ng ating technician. Okay? Para po, alam po natin kung sino ang nag-lift ng Latin print na yon, anong oras at anong date. So, ganyan po yung requirement sa pag-lift ng ating Latin prints. Then, process of lifting. In either case, the cardboard paper, index card, or glass surface which the lifted Latin print is mounted should contain the following. First, should be properly marked with the date, time, location of the print was lifted. Pangalawa, the case number and C, identification of the print technician. A rubber lifting tape similar to tire patch can also be used. So, yan lang naman po yung process. Kailangan lang po talaga na malagyan or mamark yung date, time, location, kung saan, and then case number and yung identification po or identification card po ng ating print technician or technician. Kung sino po yung nag-lift ng Latin print na yun. Can you force a person to be fingerprinted? Yes. Opo, as long as the person is under a legal arrest. Pero kung hindi naman po siya under legal arrest, syempre hindi po natin siya pwedeng pilitin na i-fingerprint. Okay? If he resists, he can be prosecuted for disobedience to an agent of a person in authority, defined and penalized under the article of this. Okay? So, pwede po na i-fingerprint po yung tao or i-force fingerprint po yung tao as long as it is a legal arrest. Pero kung hindi po legal arrest, hindi po siya pwedeng i-force na i-fingerprint. Also, kapag po ayaw niya, hindi siya pumayag, pero legal arrest po siya, pwede po siyang kasuhan or ma-prosecute for disobedience to an agent of a person in authority. So, yan po yung magiging isa pa niyang kaso kapag hindi po siya pumayag. Preparing fingerprint for court presentation. So, ito po yung process kapag po kailangan po nating i-present in court. Una, draw an oval with pencil around the print having at least 1 inch margin. Pangalawa, the point of the oval should be merely equidistant from the margin of the point as possible. So, can you read na lang this one po? Okay? Kung paano po i-prepare yung mga fingerprint po or lifted fingerprint sa korte. So, ayan po yung mga yan. So, syempre, hindi po mawawala ang photography or photograph. You need to photograph every now and then yung mga nakukuha or nalilift po nating mga fingerprints. Then, identification or comparison. Okay, procedures on fingerprint comparison and identification. We have the preliminary examination, sufficient details, examination paper, comparison of Q&S, and photograph examination or the enlargement or enlarge the print. So, yan po yung process kapag nagko-compare po tayo and nag-a-identify po ng mga fingerprint. Okay, so preliminary examination, we need to see the sufficient ridge details. Kung meron po bang ridge details po yung Latin print na yon. Pangalawa, kapag examination naman po, comparison po. Okay? Then, we have photograph, syempre, para mas makita ng malakihan at mas malinaw po. Okay? Yung mga ridge characteristics po, kailangan po natin ipa-enlarge yung na-photograph po na Latin print. Then, for requisite in comparison of friction ranges, we have the general pattern agreement, qualitative concordance, and quantitative factor, same as the relationship of ridge details ranges. General pattern agreement, we have the 8 types of pattern or yung CHAB. Kaya yan po yung mga tinatawag po nating general type agreement. Qualitative concordance, different ridge characteristics, or yung tinatawag po nating minutia or points. Quantitative factor, sufficient number. Okay? Kung ilan po yung ranges, sufficient number of ranges. Relationship of range details, location of the delta to the ranges or the location of the core and the ranges po. So, yan po yung mga requisite in comparison of friction ranges. Then next, we have the so-called gyro. Okay, a color-coded system of documenting the level of confidence that an examiner has assigned to friction range details observed in fingerprint images. The level of confidence refers to the analyst's certainty of the existence of the feature and the tolerance which has been assigned to the feature. This system was developed by Glenn Lagenberg in 2005 and published in 2011. GYRO is an acronym for green, yellow, red, and orange. So, color-coded system po yan, like this one. Kapag green, it is used to note ridge details observed with high confidence level. Kapag green po, okay, nilalagay lang po yan sa mga ridges or ridge details po na high in confidence level. Kapag yellow naman po, ninonote naman po yan kapag ang na-observe naman po nila is in a medium confidence level. Details that may be associated with minimal distortion. Kapag meron lang po siyang maliit or konting sira, distortion, red. Okay? Kapag ang na-observe naman po nila is a great deal of uncertainty. Details that may be on the edges or associated with high distortion. Kapag ibig pong sabihin, yung ridge details po natin or minutia po is, ang nakuha lang po is yung edges po ng ating fingerprint. Okay? And malaki po yung distortion or sira nung ridge details po na yun. Orange, it is used to note ridge details not observed initially in the analysis phase or the ACE-V, but observed after observing the exemplar print in the comparison phase of ACE-V method. ACE-V, analysis, comparison, evaluation, and verification. Yan po ang tinatawag po nating ACE-V method. Okay, orange naman po dyan. Kapag talagang wala po silang na-observe, ang na-observe lang po nila is nung gumamit po sila nung ACE-V method. Then, we have the quality-quantity relationship, pressure distortion. So, we have the quality-quantity relationship po. Okay, the two factors that combine in an inverse relationship to form the basis of determination of suitability or sufficiency of friction range impression. The more quality that is present, the less quantity is necessary and vice versa. So, in quality-quantity relationship po, yan po yung ginagamit natin in the process of fingerprinting po. Kapag po, mas present po or mas more yung quantity, mas less naman po yung quality. Kung mas more naman po yung quality, mas less yung quantity po ng impression. Pressure distortion naman po, lateral pressure during disposition of a fingerprint, quantitative qualitative friction range analysis by David R. Ashbaugh. Okay, pressure or pressure distortion may be described as disposition pressure downward, pressure on the object, directional pressure, vertical, horizontal, or twisting, or a combination and disposition of the pressure distortion. Okay, pressure distortion sa madaling sabi yung sira po ng ating rage characteristics or rage dito. Vertical, horizontal, or twisting man po yan. Then, pincushion method, also known as the constellation method. An obsolete method used in the first half of the 20th century to confirm an identification. In this method, enlargement of the latent and known pins are used. Pins and push through the enlargement of each rage characteristics. The holes on the reverse side are joined together and the design are compared. So, point by point po, kailangan po natin i-point out yung mga rage details po, lagyan po ng point. Okay? So, para po siyang constellation method, kailangan po natin siyang idugtong-dugtong. Okay? Para po makabuo po tayo ng parang constellation. Yan po yung tinatawag nilang pincushion method. Pero kagaya ng sabi dito, obsolete na. Wala na po yan. Hindi na po siya ginagamit. Okay? So, yan po yung mga ginagamit natin ng mga chemical method. Pero kagaya ng sabi ko, ang gagawin lang po natin is the flame technique, and let's try to do the muriatic acid method po kung kaya pa po ng time natin. Pero yung isa po talaga, yung flame method po, gagawin po natin yon with the help of water and salt po. Okay? So, I think this is the last slide for this last part of the discussion for the midterm examination. Yes. So, thank you po. And sana, I hope it is helpful for the for you to review for the midterm examination po. So, thank you po and God bless.